The new lesbian mafia song, I don't like it, but that sample has been stuck in my head. The Macarena.
Vernier Scalper.
Willkommen auf meinem YouTube-Kanal. Ich bin Vernier Scalper, and today we'll be Hayao! Porco Rosso, okay? We'll be talking about Porcellini, okay? We'll be talking about carbonara. Stop! No, it's too early for the Italiano jokes, okay? Say, I do want to go to Italy, okay? I don't want to go to Italy. So please don't fucking come for me when any Italians would watch this video. Okay? I've not tried Italian. Is it sacrilegious to call it Italian bacon? You know, the prosciutto. And I've not tried prosciutto, okay? Prosciutto. Okay? I want to try it. I want to try the authentic Italian food. Okay? What is the name of the lady who does the videos the ingredients? I fucking love it. Beautiful. Like you. I fucking love her. Oh my god, the one dish that I really want to try from her is the lemon pasta. That sounds so freaking good for summer. I need it. I need it in my fucking belly. I need it inside me. Okay? I fucking love her. Ingredients. Ingredients. Spicy. Hot. Like you. I really enjoyed Porco Rosso, okay? I did not really remember much from this one. So it was pretty much a brand new film for me, okay? I kind of remember like the gist, like, you know, the building the plane and the girl and the pirates. I kind of remember like the setting and stuff, but I don't really, the story was a bit muddy, okay? It was very muddy. So this was pretty much a new experience for me. Rewatching this film, Porco Rosso, Porcellini. It is, okay, I would say it is like, kind of part, maybe like a low fantasy, because Porco Rosso is Porco, what do they call him in the film? Let's just go to Porcellini, okay? Porcellini is, he's, you know, like a fantasy creature. There's a little bit magic going on here, because I don't actually remember him being a fucking human. You know, I don't remember his history of being a human before he was turned into a pig by some spell that we're not, you know, taught about in the film. I mean, it is barely mentioned, but we don't know like the real history of why he was turned into a pig, like what was the actual cause of the spell, okay? We don't actually know that, but it is interesting. I think it's based on something, right? Like a book or a comic or something. Maybe I should look into it just to know the lore about Porco Rosso. But it is a very fun film. And it is very chill. Okay, it's very chill and fun watch. It is not overstimulating, even though you could say that this is a more action-based film of the Ghiblis, okay? At least for like the 80s and the 90s, this would be considered the more action. A lot of fighting. A lot of machoism, machoism, or is it called machoism? I don't fucking know, okay? You know, it's a lot of, I'm the fucking man, I'm the man, okay? It's a lot of man. If you're allergic, you know, if you're not, if you're not into the type of like machoism, like man and fighting for the girl type thing, you know, it's very straight, okay? It's very heterosexual, heteronormative vibes here with this film. So if you're not into that, Porco Rosso is not for you. It is not just, it's very traditional, okay? It's very traditional, it's very old school type, you know. A very romantic film, overall, I will say. In the romantic, in the sense of the love, in the sense of the sensuality, you know, it is very interesting, because as much as you have these very manly, masculine aspects, okay, of the film, but there's a tenderness that I appreciate as well. Maybe that's the Ghibli touch, you know what I mean? Maybe it's just the Ghibli touch that adds that little texture of the softness, you know? So let's just get into it. I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm just gonna try to speed through. Let's just get it out of the way, okay? The European romanticism is back, but this time we're not in France, okay? You know, last time we were in France with the Kiki. Fuck, no, we're not doing the we're not doing the 404, okay? We're not doing the that is gone. Now is what's my current vocal stem? Macarena. I fucking hate that song. Like, what? Not the Macarena song, the lesbian mafia song. Like, why did they? Okay, I'm not talking about that. But the Italian vibes are really strong with this film. We have the spaghetti, and we have the Italian flag every 5 minutes. We have the Porco. I mean, Porco is very... It did not hit me at first, but then I remember of the existence of prosciutto, and I was like, oh shit! He is very Italian coded, okay? He's very Italian coded, and the fat jokes and the pig jokes that he gets is very disrespectful. Do these people know that he was once a human? And everybody doesn't like him. Oh my god, the tavern scene, or I guess it's not really tavern. Why am I making it sound like some medieval fantasy? No, it's not a tavern, it's a pub. Okay, like a pub, like a bar. That was giving me Inglourious Basterds flashbacks, like war flashbacks from Inglourious Basterds, because the tension in that rhythm. Porcellini is basically, you know, he's very much ostracized by the other pirates, okay? He's very much on his own. He's a lone ranger. Yeah, it's interesting. He's like other. He has a particular perspective of the other. Everybody is gonna like, you know, like side-eyeing him and we're gonna get him next time, and everybody's scheming and plotting, wanting him to. They want to see his downfall. You know, they want to see his downfall. They want to get rid of him so that they can get like a ransom or. What the ransom? Oh my god, my words are so jumbled today. What? Ransom? They want to get like the prize money. What do you call it when you get you hunt down the wanted person and you get the money? Everybody wants that. Okay, these fucking pirates. It's giving me Inglourious Basterds. You know, when the good guys try to disguise themselves as the Germans, but then they get caught. But then they get caught. They slipped up and they got caught. So Gina is the owner or the lady of this pub, this bar. Gina, okay, and she is, we can tell that she's interested in Porcellini, okay, there is some sparks, okay, there's some TTT, okay, going on here. She wants it, but she has to be like, oh, I care for all the pirates and stuff, but you know, maybe there is a special one. Maybe there is a special one. And speaking of the pirates, I love how quirky their planes are. There is even like a polka dotted plane at one point, right? And they had to get their planes fixed due to the fighting, the stupid barbaric fight. There's a lot of you know, when I say there's a lot of a lot of things in this film. There's a lot of barbaric fighting that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, fighting in general is stupid and senseless, but you know, the man like to justify the fighting with all sorts of reasons and blah, 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 but it's the most stupid and most destructive thing. It might as well just blow up the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's as good as in, like, I guess nuclear is still the worst thing, but you know what I'm saying? Violence is horrible. Like, you can try to justify blah, 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 but everybody thinks it's bad, okay? We all know that it's bad, but I guess it's just like one of those things, you know? You know, like, what are we gonna do? How to fight violence without violence? At some point, you're gonna have to use violence against violence to stop the violence, but then it just becomes chaos and destruction. So the only way is to not start it in the first place, but easier said than done when we have man. And back to Gina and Porcellini. Oh, is it Porcellini or Porcellino? Oh my god, I might be embarrassing myself again. Porco. Okay, let's just stick to Porco. Okay, so she likes the guy, right? She likes the man. There was a scene with the phone call, or what you call it, the signal the signal set thing that she's calling him from, telling him to be careful. You're gonna die one day. You're going to die because all these people, all these pirates, they die. But obviously, she's a bit more caring towards him, and she's a bit more worried because she likes him. You know, she wants him, but he's trying to be man. He's trying to be intentionally obtuse, intentionally aloof. You know, and it's like, oh, what was that quote? A pig's gotta fly. Give a fucking break, okay? Give me a fucking break. A pig's gotta fly. And she puts down the phone. She's so freaking done. Just fucking stop this bullshit and fucking... Okay. Make the fucking woman happy, okay? Get in the bed. Something needs to happen, okay? Something needs to fucking happen. Gina is very, very obsessed, and she's very repressed. She needs to, she needs it, okay? We need to make her happy. The one scene where she was waiting on her little like terrace gazebo situational with that other man, the man who wants to bring her to Hollywood and become an actor-actress couple or something, and says that I will make you the president as well. I apologize for the construction that is going on, but yes, that disgusting man. But another very man thing about this film is that the women are really just the property of the man, because like, you just want her to leave everything behind to go somewhere. She doesn't even like you. Oh my god, this is really like the traditional of like just marrying the girls. She raise your stocks or something, and you can hold her on your side like an accessory, like a toy. Bruh. She does not even like the man, and she even like brushes him off and laughs at him, and he still thinks that like, what? I'm serious. We know you're serious, but you can't be serious. You know what I mean? Gina was not having it. Gina was just toying with him, being like, huh. She was scoffing. She was not really laughing with him. She was laughing at him. She was mocking him. And she's like, yeah, good luck, kid. Good luck, kid. Good luck with that. She called him a kid. She fucking called him a kid. She was not impressed by him. She was not amused. And of course, Porco had to take that time of the day to fly by in his new plane, okay? His new plane that he got built. I will get to that, but you know, the new plane that got built, he flies by with his red hot plane, his hot plane, you know what I mean? And she's like, she catches a glance, and she's like, running to the outside to catch a glimpse of him. She was wet. She was wet. She was soaking. She was soaking under that dress. And it's not from the sun. She was fucking soaking. She was like, that is the one I want. Not the fucking one who's still in the gazebo being like, you're into Porco? Of course she's into Porco. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck do you think Gina is? She's a woman of taste, okay? She's a woman of class. She's a woman of taste. Woman of standard, okay? She's not just like a fuck toy or an accessory, a pocket dog for to take around. To be a little wife? No. No. That's not what she wants. And I sense jealousy. Okay, I sense the jealousy. As a man, I can sense it. I sense the incoming jealousy, the jealousy of a man. I sense the vibe of you know, if I can't have her, nobody can. Very man. That is so man. I am not saying that other like women can't do that, but that is a very man thing. You know, if I can't have her, nobody can't. So dramatic. Like, so fucking dramatic. You know, men like to talk a lot of shit about women and how like women are emotional and stuff, but men are like equally as fucking... They're just dramatic in their own way. You know what I'm saying? Just because men don't cry as often as that doesn't mean that they're not as dramatic and emotional and possibly unstable. Bruh. The number of villains in film and reality that are man, and they have like some trauma, you know, like some trauma, like mom and dad don't love you and stuff like that, and it becomes like the villain. You know, like the whole idea of the villain arc that was made for men. That was really made for man. That was really made for the stereotypical man, okay? Ego got bruised. Buttocks got bruised because you got dropped as a child, and now you want the world to suffer. Because it's just stupid, like why the world suffer? For what? The world doesn't owe you, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very man thing in a sense, it's coming from the guy. But yes, Porcellino is not exempted from the sexism, okay? The sexism is real in this film. But I have to be empathetic because this is like the 20s going to the 30s of the First World War, okay? So, the gender roles and gender norms and all of those things are still very much traditional. So Porcellino himself is not exempted from this behavior, okay? Like when he gets the plane rebuilt by the girl, by Theo. What is that name? Is it supposed to be short for Fiona? Or maybe that's just a standard 3-letter Italian name. I don't know, okay? Theo. Let's see how I wanted to say Fiona. She's working with her grandfather in their little shack thing. But they also employ the women of the town because the men are out at war. And the women can help too, okay? The woman can help. This is the part of the film I find very, very, you know, the tenderness, but at the same time very strong, the strength of the women. It is very nice, empowering portrayal of the women. It is not just showing like, okay, yeah, the women, they cook and they clean and they do like the chores, the household chores. But no, they're able to build shit as well. And I mean, that is the reality. Women have always been building shit. Women have always been crafting. They have always been doing the same things that men have done. But like, you know, like, but somehow there's still this stereotype that they can't do hard labor. They're weak and stuff like that. But it is not true, right? It is not true, and this is a very good portrayal of the woman in the sense that they can do like hard labor as well, and they're very helpful. They get employed, even like the old women. Porcellino was like, y'all are also working, and yes, they are. Okay, we need all the help we can get here. I hope they're getting paid because there's a lot of fees that were. You know, he had to pay a lot, and I hope like these women are getting paid as well, and it's not just going to Granddad and Fiona. But yes, he was very doubtful. You know, Porcellino was very doubtful of Fiona at first. He almost didn't want her. He wanted to walk out of the shop and be like, I'm gonna get somebody else to do it. But she slowly wins him over, and they become like buddies, and they work together. They even go flying together. I mean, the rest of the film, they're doing everything together, you know? So that is nice. And one thing that I find that is notable about this traditional gender norm, gender role type situational is that Porcellino, yes, he is a bit sexist, okay? He's a bit sexist, a bit chauvinistic, but there is also that level of care, you know? They don't want the woman to get hurt, especially when Theo wants to come along with him to try out the plane and on the whole adventure, the whole rigmarole. He was he was a protective as well. I mean, he knows the grandfather, right? He knows the grandfather. He doesn't want the girl to get into trouble because then it will become his fault, and he will have to deal with the guilt of the having something happen to the girl. And there is also that level of, because he's not a young man, okay? He's not a young man. I feel like a young man would have a different type of levity, is that the word? And he's not that old either. He's just old enough that he has that natural sense of almost like fatherly or like a guardian. He feels the responsibility to protect her. And yes, I know in the modern day it might come off as kind of like sexist, but in this situation, I would be more neutral to that idea because she shouldn't be getting hurt or killed, or she's a young girl, she's a young person, like she has a bright future ahead of her. She's so talented as well. So I can see it. I think that it is great that there's that level of I need to protect this child vibe going on, but I was also a bit afraid because I really didn't want there to be any sort of romantic sparks. I mean, she did kiss him on the cheek later on, but I think that was a bit more innocent. It's not so... It wasn't like sexual or anything, you know. I don't think it was like heavily sexual or heavily or like inappropriate or something. Yeah, it was none of that. Okay, I think that was an innocent kiss. Porcellino has a good heart. We've been new. It's just like these little moments really show. Okay, like the actions, they really show what type of person he is, what type of pig. Okay, he's not a... Sometimes he's a chauvinistic picky ass, but he can also be caring. And speaking of guilt, we have to talk about the survivor's guilt that Porcellino, unfortunately, is ridden with. Okay? Because when they're out in that oasis, and Theo is asking for a bedtime story. Not her asking for a bedtime story. This is why the romance cannot happen between these two, because this is pretty much an older, you know. No, we're not doing age gap. We're not doing age gap things. No, okay. Keep your mind down together. This is not that type of this is not that type of film. But she's asking for a bedtime story. And he gives her like the most Buzzkill bedtime story. Like, how is she supposed to go to sleep with that thing? With those thoughts lingering in her head? I mean, she was very happy. I mean, she was happy that she gave him a kiss before she went to sleep, but... So it's kind of silly if you think about how, you know, and the way she's asking about the bedtime story, like suggesting that he might be telling her maybe an adventure tale, one of his adventure tales, one of his memorable moments of like exploration and scuffles with other pirates. But he tells her like the most Buzzkill thing. Okay, so the actual Buzzkill bedtime story that he tells is about how he almost died. And he basically ascended to heaven. Okay? He ascended above the clouds, and all of a sudden, the film has this new introspective, very introspective, almost like spiritual, you know, spiritual like layer that is now added and looming over everything. It's just gotten very serious all of a sudden, very, very poignant. So he like ascended over the clouds, and there was this chemtrail of lots of tiny, bright, like sparkling specks, and they were all planes. And he saw his comrades ascend from the clouds as well, and they joined all those other planes, but he remained on the cloud level, and he then descended back to earth. He was kind of experiencing a spiritual moment where he was facing the reality that his friends, his comrades, have died. But God, okay, in this sense here, God has decided to let him stay. God has other plans for him. This was so fucking... This is a Buzzkill. But it was a very, very meaningful. Like, it really added a new layer to... Because if they did not have this scene, the film would still be good, okay? It would still be fun, it would still be chill and all of that, but this really added that layer of emotional depth. Because this film was set in the time of the rise of fascism in Italy, right? So it really reframed everything. It kind of grounded the film in the sense that you remember the context of everything and how these pirates and these people in the bar and Gina, and they're all very liberal people, okay? They want to live freely. Whereas the rest of the country, or a lot of people in the country, they're moving towards that fascist government. They're saying yes to the Mussolini, okay? Mussolini, when did he rise into power? It was around that time, or maybe a bit after. Yeah, so it was very interesting. Like, you know, earlier on, when he was talking to that other guy at in the theater, he said he would rather be pirate, he'd rather be free than become fascist. So you know what type of person he is, okay? And that's very interesting. It was a poignant moment. Why? I wouldn't be able to sleep if you told me that, but Theo was very content with that freaking story. But I guess from her perspective, it is more of like, oh, Porcellino is a really good person, and I feel very honored to be his friend. I feel very honored to have built this plane for him. I feel very honored to be working with him. And she's very content, and she can be kissed and she goes to bed. Sure, I mean, you know, cute. So the final fight scene in the sky with Porcellino and that stupid Curtis, the goofy ass Curtis that Gina doesn't want to fuck with, okay? Gina doesn't want to fuck with your goofy ass, but okay, we have to fight, we have to do a rematch. It is so, man, a rematch, really? Oh, God. Please, just let it stop, like, make it stop! Why don't you do a fucking rematch? But yes, all the barbaric pirates have gathered around, and they have gathered around all the other townspeople and stuff. I really like this community, though. It's very fresh. It's like everybody coming together to this island, secret island, before the Italian Navy comes around to catch them, and maybe, I don't know, because I guess a lot of this shit is illegal. I mean, pirates are illegal, right? So there's a lot of illegal activity that we're witnessing in this film. They're fighting and stuff, and the plane stopped working, and it just becomes goofier and goofier. It is so unserious. That is the thing about this film. Yes, it is violence, and violence is bad. Violence is bad. Okay? I mean, the spiritual scene really did own in that message of violence is bad. Because these planes wouldn't be in the sky. It was for violence. But anyways, we're gonna continue with the violence. So like the planes stop working and they like come down, okay, and it just started like fist fighting. So now we're just doing cat fight. We're just fighting in the water. We're just doing down to analog. We're just down to like primal, like okay, ape versus pig. Oh god. And they were so bruised up and swollen. This is like the most. This is the most man film of all the Ghibli films that I've reviewed thus far. This is the most man. Okay, this one stank. This one stank. This one reeks of man. Okay, this film reeks of man. So they fight in the water and they both pass out in the end, and everybody's waiting to see which one of them rises up first. Okay, which one of them? Run! And the one who rises up first is the winner. Because it has been very much a tie the entire time. And of course, Gina arrives. And it is her voice that brings Porcellino back to life. The tropes, the tropiary, the fucking romance tropes, the romance. This was a very romantic film. This is the most romantic film, and this is the most man film. It's very romance and violence, okay? Violence and romance, death and romance. What is that Magdalena-based song? You know, it is very much that. It's very like chivalry. Very chivalry. Very we have to fight for the girl. Okay, wait. We have to fight for the... Curtis wanted Theo as a prize. I almost forgot to mention that part. He wanted her as a prize, as the wife. Like, you have to marry me if I win. What? Talking about like, I know what I love. Like I said in the previous film, just because it's a different time doesn't make it right. Okay? She is not your object. What the fuck? Like you Gina rejected you. Gina doesn't want to fuck with your goofy ass, and so now you move on to another thing. You have your eyes set on another prize, and now the prize is Theo. Because Gina's the woman, you know, Gina knows herself. Gina knows her worth. So now you think that you can like, now you think you can scope down. You can even set your lower. You're trying to aim lower, and you're going for Theo just because, ugh, gross. Disgusting. And thank God he did not win. And Theo was really funny. She was like, in an earlier scene, we forgot to pet the fucking bill. They should have petted the bill, so that we have more money and we can pay all the women who worked so hard for this victory. Even though the planes didn't really like work in the end and they had to resort to a cat fight. Meow. Meow. The women. It is because of the women they made it possible. The women made this film possible. Okay? For there even to be a prize, a plane, a fight. It is because of the woman. But I guess it's because of the man as well. So yes, this was a very nice film. Okay? I really need to know the lore. I need to know the lore about Porcellino. I need to know why he's a pig. Is it something to do with the war as well? And it was like a wish granted to him for him to continue living? I don't know. But I would recommend this film if you like this type of very man, very fight for the girl, very traditional, very Italian, like you. Ingredients. I'm very into all of that. This would be a very good film for you. But if you're like, no, if you prefer something, you know, sapphic, Kiki is the one for you. But this is not for you if you're not into this type of very, very tropey, traditional type situation. I enjoyed myself, and I hope you enjoyed this video, because I know I'm a bit all over the place today. Maybe I'm just all over the place all of the time. Okay, maybe just so like and subscribe and do all of that, and I will see you in the next video. What is the... Oh my god, here we go again. It might be Whisper of the Heart. My bet is that is Whisper of the Heart. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Ingredients.